All right. Now, the Gorn are something from the original series. It was the ultimate, like, dude in a monster suit episode, but it's fun. It's classic Star Trek. There's been so many parodies made of that scene where Kirk fought the Gorn. It's been a lot of fun over the years, and this is one of Strange New Worlds things where it really did a weird retcon of everything and messes with continuity a little bit, and it's kind of why I hate prequels as a rule. Like, they just never take care with stuff, and they always try to tie everything in to things that have already happened in other things to make it have more depth or whatever. It never works out. Even like, remember when Enterprise did the Borg? This isn't like just a modern thing. I mean, this is 20 years ago now. Like, it just didn't feel right, and it's like he shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have added the Borg in, and shouldn't have had the Borg show up and be kind of known by humans at that point in its history. Just didn't work out. Now, Strange New Worlds did the same thing already with like the whole Romulan situation. Like, if you guys remember the first one where Captain Kirk really didn't know who the Romulans were, and they'd never interacted with them before, and at the neutral zone, they did a like Captain Pike handling that 10 years earlier, and again, it just like. While it technically didn't violate canon, it got real close. And so this is the type of thing I don't like about the shows like Strange New Worlds. I think Strange New Worlds is probably the best of the modern Star Trek that's out there, but it's still just not quite right. They got to stop doing prequels is my analysis. So please hit the like and subscribe button. Let's get into what the showrunners are saying about the Season 3 premiere, which is going to resolve a Gorn crisis that was done at the end of the last season. I am a science fiction writer myself. I talk about this from a writing perspective, and like I said, I don't like prequels because of that level. This is my Stars Entwined. If you like Babylon 5, Deep Space Nine, this is really going to be a great book for you, and it's actually on sale for 99 cents this weekend. Great space opera, fun aliens. You're really going to love it, and if you're a Star Trek fan, I think this is great science fiction that you'll enjoy. Check it out in the description below, and thanks for being here, guys, and supporting our channel and supporting great science fiction. Like I said, only 99 cents this weekend. Grab it. It's a good time to do so. It's got a full trilogy for you to check out as well. If you like reading, you'll like this. All right. So thanks for supporting us again. One of the most hotly contested elements of Star Trek Strange New Worlds was the introduction as the Gorn as a recurring adversary years before their first appearance in the original Star Trek arena. Moving away from the original Gorn and his famed rubber-suited fight with Captain Kirk, they added much to the backstory of these aggressive space-staring reptiles, culminating in a Season 2 cliffhanger finale hegemony. Now, by the way, those were pretty good episodes. It's just, again, it just felt wrong because of the Gorn. The story picks up with Season 3 premiere, and the last weekend, both showrunners talked about the season premiere and how they're handling the Gorn. So it's been almost 2 years since the Season 2 finale. Of course, the Hollywood writer strikes have caused problems with Strange New Worlds and the like. Sad on that level. It's a long time to wait for a cliffhanger. The executive producer offered a sort of apology for that. We had the writer strike. We didn't anticipate it was going to be quite as long. We have faith in our audience. Thank you for waiting, and thank you for liking. And he talked about this and why they do it in an episodic way, which is why I like Strange New Worlds, that it is mostly episodic and isn't like, this one continuing story like Discovery was. I thought that felt very bad for Star Trek. This is much better on that level. Nothing made me happier when something like Best of Both Worlds, Parts 1 and 2. It's Parts 1 and 2 that I love when you see Part 1, and then at the end you discover there's going to be another part. That Part 1 was really, really exciting because it was my favorite thing to watch, and when the show had a second part, they start with previously on and say, now the conclusion. As a Star Trek fan, there's nothing I like more because we were not going to be doing a bunch of episodes where you have to watch all of them to follow. This one where we set up the story and finish the story. Cool stuff. So what he says about the Gorn here is this. What I loved about the Gorn was it was an opportunity to retcon something into a real monster. This is the word retcon, and that means retcon is redoing continuity. What does the ret actually mean? Retcon meaning? Why, there's got to be retroactive continuity. Yes, that's the way to do it. So they create this continuity now that like didn't exist before. I hate this kind of thing. Retcons are always a disaster. What we do in Star Trek, and you'll see we do with Gorn, is start by seeing each other, and often we end by engaging our empathy and understanding in common ground. That's great. It doesn't mean that there isn't real evil in the world. And so we wanted to do with the Gorn was to give you a monster, and a monster that at least at first seemed irredeemable. Pretty cool. Now, like I said, what they did with the Gorn is pretty neat, and I like it generally speaking. I just don't like the idea of retconning, and I don't like what it does to the continuity and messes with the original series. That is a problem for me on this level. And there is, yes, a lot of this type of thing out there. Which I mentioned Enterprise. This is not a new thing. It's just a thing with prequels, which causes a lot of problems on this. And so this is going to get resolved in this new season. What they got going on here. Of course, they turned the Gorn into this monster that's a lot like Alien. Obviously, it's something that you can see right here. And it doesn't feel right because that's not what the Gorn was. Now, this is, again, not technically wrong because it's the baby Gorns. They're a little different. They're more aggressive, whatever. And so you've got this whole situation here that's a little bit, fuzzy when you get into the continuity because we don't know much about the Gorn other than what we've seen in that one episode. But it's still, again, I don't like these retcons in general. Now, I hope they stick the landing. I hope it's a good episode regardless. Like I said, the Gorn stuff that they've done so far within the series, I thought has been good episodes by itself. It just adds to a feel that makes it feel, this shouldn't be like what Star Trek is doing right here. I wish they'd kind of do their own more space exploration stuff that's different rather than trying to bring back things like this and try to tie it in, because I think you just ask for continuity problems when that happens. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Please hit the like and subscribe button as we talk all things Star Trek here, guys. And like I said, I have this weekend, Stars Entwined is up right now, and I would love for you to check it out. It's in the description below. Hopefully I can earn your support as an author, and thanks for reading, my friends.